No matter how brave you think you are, everybody fears the unknown. The nights are particularly scary considering there's very little to see. So in order to make your nights a little scarier, here are some of the finest horror specimens from Reddit. Read them at your own peril. The writing on the wall. A young boy lay sleeping in bed when he heard footsteps outside of his room. He peeped out of his eyes to see what was happening when he swung his door open and revealed a murdering, carrying corpse of his parents. After slightly propping them up on a chair, he wrote something on the wall in blood of the dead bodies. He then hid under the child's bed. The child got scared beyond belief. He couldn't read the writing on the wall, and he knew the man was under his bed. Like any child, he pretended that he slept through the whole thing and hadn't waken up. He lay still as the bodies quietly hearing the breaths from under his bed. An hour passed and his eyes got adjusted to the darkness. He tried making out the words, but it was a struggle. He gasped. When he finally read out the sentence, "I know you're awake," he read as he felt something shifting under his bed. Blurry. By that one Cricket 101. I started seeing nightmare creatures. I got my first pair of glasses last week. My parents didn't think I needed them at first, but the doctor said that there was something wrong with more than just my eyes, and that was apparently pretty common, and that I needed specially prescribed glasses for my own good. He said that many people were never given the chance to see the way I would, so I was lucky to get them. I thought that meant cars and the faraway words would become less blurry, but over the span of a couple of days, many more things have become clearer. I started seeing nightmare creatures all around. I've never seen them before, like in the corners of my room and in the darkened parking lots. I took the glasses off for the first time today, and let me say, it's amazing how quickly demons and creatures turn into trees and shadows. I know I'm not saying the truth, but I'm a simple person. I'd rather see things remain blurry, just the way it is for everyone else. We Didn't Question Why, by Movie Man. We didn't question why, we knew. We didn't question why the small town we found after getting lost in the countryside wasn't on a map. We didn't question why the shopkeeper in town didn't have eyebrows or hair on his head. We didn't question why he looked so strangely, greedily at us. We didn't question why the gas station we stopped at was so cheap. We didn't question why the clerk at the station, where are her eyebrows and hair? We didn't question why the funny man outside by our car let us know that the sun was going down. We didn't question why so many bald people stood on the street watching us frantically leaving this town behind. We didn't question why we began pulling out our hair or why we decided to turn around and head back town. We knew. The Old Man in the Well, by Hot Blooded 1988. Keith was 12 the first time the old man in the well spoke to him. Keith was out playing after dark on a family's small farm near the well. The old well had beams supporting a rope and pulley with a bucket attached. Even though Keith told that the well ran dry before he was born, suddenly he heard someone say his name in a slow, raspy voice. Keith whirled around and saw no one. A look of confusion spread across his face as he heard it again. Keith! This time, it was said with more force and a bit louder. The voice sounded like one of those old farmers who like to smoke, thought Keith. Looking down the well, Keith heard the same voice. Have you got anything tasty? Keith couldn't see anything past the 12 or so feet down the well, even though it was a full moon. Who are you? How'd you get down there? Keith asked. If you give me something tasty, I'll reward you, replied the voice. All Keith had were some cookies he had stuffed in his pocket as he left to play. He put those in a bucket and lowered it. He had lowered it nearly 40 feet and was literally at the end of his rope when he no longer felt the weight of the bucket on the rope. 20 seconds passed and he felt the weight of the bucket again and began to pull the bucket up. As he finished pulling the bucket up to the top, the voice said, "Oh." Keith saw a reflection in the bucket and saw a rectangular piece of silver metal about the size of an army dog tag. It was completely flat and smooth. "What fresh?" the voice said. Even though Keith tried to talk to the old man again, there was no response. Keith made up a story about where he found the metal and took it to his father, who took him to town and confirmed it was an ounce of pure silver. After that, Keith kept it a secret. It took a while to discover that old man was only there in the night of the full moons. Keith quietly learned that only live things he put in the well would be rewarded. Only live. Sorry. Let me repeat that again. Keith quickly learned that only live things he put in the well would be rewarded, but only once for each item and once every full moon. So one of each kind of animal was lowered down the well and rewarded. Keith now had a cigar box mostly full of silver pieces by the time he was 16, but had run out of different animals to get the reward for. It was around this time that a local farmhand went missing. It was also the same time that Keith was rewarded the gold pieces for the first time. Once Keith took over the farm, temp workers seemed to vanish every now and then, without explanation of the farm. The old man had finally found something tasty enough to always reward. I like these. There's more. And there's definitely something that I would love to share with you guys. But please comment, and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions that you would love for me to narrate that are spookier than the ones that I'm reading, let me know in the comments. Thank you, and stay safe.